Voices for Healthy Kids has come a long way in our equity journey, but our work is far from done as we work together with communities around the country.
When we look at different regions of the country, we are going to find that people have different needs. And whether they're under-resourced communities, they're immigrant communities, they're Latinx communities, they're low-income communities, there's a need. We have a responsibility to look at those different regions around the country and really find out what ways we can amplify their stories.
I do think the responsibility of Voices for Healthy Kids is to ensure that how young people and their families are presented in spaces where in many ways those families and young people are not in the decision-making process, that they are represented with full integrity, full dignity, and that they are not fully defined by their lack.
Equity work can often leave us solely fixated on inequity, reducing entire communities to what they don't have.
We actually don't talk about the joy enough. We don't talk about what it means to be in community, what it means to be aligned on the change that we are seeking, but also what it means for us to do that in a spirit of hope and also to remind people that human beings are human beings.
I think that Voices and American Heart Association are in a really good spot to be groups that can educate and raise consciousness with a population that groups like mine can't reach.
Part of that process is being able to create a safe space to, not necessarily just call people out, but to bring people in and say, hey, I think we can do this better.
We are now really sitting and we're going to work with our grantees to co-define what success looks like. So there'll be conversations on the ground with the grantee, with the Voices staff, and with the local American Heart Association team to really talk about what do you want to get out of this? What's it going to look like 2 years from now for success? We're going to make a lot of mistakes. We've made a lot of mistakes. We've made some big mistakes. We're going to continue making mistakes, hopefully different mistakes.
The challenge that we have, all of us, including Voices, is making sure that we can match that industry power, that entrenched industry power, with the power from advocates, the power from philanthropy, and the power from community. And only then are we going to be able to offset the power of these interests that are trying to keep status quo where our communities are sick.
There's so much change and so much uncertainty around this, but I feel like our staff team and our volunteer advisors and our grantees keep holding it steady through this. We need to use policy and use our power to become more anti-racist and not passing it off to folks who've been on the bad end of this deal for way too long and taking responsibility.
The reward for equity is more equity, right? So you don't get to just stick a flag at the end and say, we won or we conquered this. There's always more work to be done.
That's what's exciting to me about this work.